Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another book recommendation video. This time I'm going to be talking about my favorite forced proximity romances. So without further ado, let's just hop into the video. So the first book that I want to talk to you about is Down London Road by Samantha Young. This is the second book in her On Dublin Street series, and the forced proximity element is that the male main character actually moves into the same apartment building as them, and he actually lives right below them, right below the female main character and her little brother and her mom. So that's the forced proximity element. So this book follows Joanna, who is the female main character, and Kim, who's the male main character. Joanna has had to take care of her younger brother for as long as she can remember. Her dad walked out on them and was abusive, and ever since he left, her mom has been just drowning herself in alcohol and not taking care of them. So she's had to, since a young age, take care of all three of them, but mostly her brother. In order to keep a roof over their head, she's had to take multiple jobs. I don't even think she got her high school diploma because of it. And along the way, she finds out that if she dates a rich guy, it helps a lot with the bills, because if one month she can't pay rent, she can always ask them and they'll help her out. She always is very careful about making sure she also genuinely likes the guy, but she does recognize that she typically only goes after rich men because she needs the stability that that income can provide if anything ever goes wrong that month for them. But as she's at one of these rich events at an art gallery, she meets Cam, who is the girlfriend of one of the friends of, or he's the boyfriend of one of her boyfriend's friends. So there's already that forbidden element between them. But Cam quickly does not like her and is making snap judgments about her and about how she's like a gold digger, and he just makes a lot of snap judgments about her, which she doesn't correct because she's like, you're gonna think what you want. There's no use me changing your mind. But at that same event, the girlfriend asks if Joanna can get a job for Cam at bartending at her work because he needs a job. And Joanna, being the amazing person she is, because even though she doesn't really like him and the snap judgments he makes, she understands that what it means to need a job, so she's never going to deny someone that opportunity if she can help. So they end up working together, and the more they work together, the more they feel this budding, undeniable attraction to each other. And the more Cam gets to know her, the more he realizes all of his snap judgments were completely wrong, and he quickly becomes her greatest defender and will not let anyone talk badly about her ever. As they're working together, she finds out that he also just moved into the apartment below her. So they really can't avoid this attraction that they feel to each other. It just is really cute story, and I love Cam and the way he defends Joanna because she's such a great person. You meet her in the first book, and honestly, I was having the same sort of judgments as Cam was when you read her in the first book, and you quickly realize all these background things in this book, and it's just really great storytelling. So I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 5 stars or close to it, so I definitely recommend this one. The next book I have to recommend is Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. This is the second book in the Eden series, and the forced proximity element is that she actually lives in the apartment above his garage, so they are forced to live very close to each other, and she's got a baby who is crying at all hours of the night, and he's hearing the baby cry all the time and going over to help. Memphis is a single mom that moves to Quincy, Montana to work at the Eden's Hotel, the Eloise, and because of the salary that she's getting paid, she's having a really hard time finding a place to stay, and so she lets Eloise, the person who runs the inn, know that maybe she won't be able to take it, and so Eloise asks her brother Knox to let Memphis stay above their in his garage until she can find somewhere to stay that's within her price range. And of course he agrees, because how can you say no to your little sister? But he quickly regrets that decision when her baby is up at all hours of the night crying. And he has his own history with children, that there's a reason why he's always grumpy around Memphis, but I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't give you that backstory. But yeah, so it makes it hard, but he does have experience with babies, and he goes and helps Memphis out at night, and helps her get him to sleep. And the more time they spend together, the more they just feel this attraction that's brewing towards together. And so he's constantly cooking for her and taking care of her, and she just really needed someone to care about her. And it's not even just the things he does for her, but it's just the fact that he cares about her so much, and it's so cute. There's a reason why this book is so hyped up. I feel like I talk about it all the time, but honestly it's worth me talking about it all the time. So I love it. I highly recommend it. Please go check it out. The next book I have to recommend is The Hardest Fall by Ella Mays. The forced proximity element of this is that they're actually roommates. Due to some unforeseen circumstances with both of their living situations, Zoe and Dylan end up having to share an apartment that the coach of the football team is renting out to them. Neither of them realized the other one was going to be living there, and I think even the coach didn't realize they were going to both be there. But this is not the first time that they've ran into each other. They actually have some really cute times that they've met before, so it's sort of a little bit of a right person, wrong time, a little bit, but not really. He has always liked her, and she's always sort of kept away from him for some unknown reason. So as their roommates, he is being very much like, oh, we can be friends, but also trying to be very charming. And so she has a really hard time denying him, because she gets to see him every single day, and she finds out that he's got a great personality as well. He's really funny, and she just does not want to spend time away from him. So she agrees to be friends with him, but he still wants more. It's a bit of a slow burn, which I find Ella Mays does a lot and really well, but I really liked this one. Yeah, it's a really good sports romance as well as a forced proximity romance. So if you like either of those tropes, you'll probably like this book. The next book I want to recommend is Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. The forced proximity part of this book is that they have to work together on a house flipping. So they are forced to spend every day together. This book follows Maggie and Silas. So Maggie is this YouTube star, and she does house flipping and renovations on her YouTube channel, showing that women can do it too, that you don't have to, that you can be handy and be a woman. And so has this big following, and she decides to do this flipping in Kinship, Ohio, where she meets Silas, who she's hiring to help with the landscaping of the house. So obviously once she does this, these huge projects, she does need to hire contractors and stuff to help her with it, because she can't do everything herself, or else it would take years to flip an entire house by herself, or a year, and she doesn't have that, and so that she can put out multiple ones. But it's all of her design, her ideas, everything like that. But anyways, the minute that Silas sees Maggie, he is smitten. He is such a golden retriever energy, but also very protective, and he is immediately flirting with her, which she is trying to say no, because she knows that she's constantly moving on to different jobs, so she doesn't think she can settle down. But they agree to be friends with benefits while she is in town, and the chemistry as they're working together builds. It's so good. I will say that I didn't love Silas, because he was a bit too overprotective protective in my eyes. I still really like this book. I love Maggie. She is such like an independent badass woman. And there is sort of like a treasure hunt storyline in this like subplot, which is a lot of fun. So, and then there's also a dog named Kevin in this book, which I have a dog named Kevin, so obviously that was my favorite part of this book, but I definitely recommend this book. It's just a lot of fun. Lucy Score's books are always just a blast for me to read. If you like her writing, you'll probably like this book. And last but not least, the book I want to talk to you about next is Love at First Bite by Carrie Aarons. The forced proximity element is that they are sharing a summer house in the Hamptons, and so they are sharing house together on weekends all summer long. This book follows Smith and Molly. Molly is a very hardworking teacher, and Smith is a big shot restaurant owner. So Maggie has been dating Smith's best friend for a couple years, but right before they're supposed to be spending the summer with his friends at this summer share house, he dumps her by text and says he's moving to Singapore. So Molly doesn't know what to do, but her best friend convinces her that she should still go ahead and go to the summer house because she deserves the break. She's so hardworking during the school year that she deserves the break over the summer. And Smith has always been really mean to her, but it's only because he's been secretly crushing on her the whole time that they've been dating. And so he's been mean to her in order to try and convince himself that he doesn't actually like her. There's always been a bit of chemistry between them. So as they spend the summer together, they actually get to know each other a bit more now that the boyfriend isn't sort of standing in between them. Also, Smith has been through a really rough patch recently, and so Molly is very sympathetic to him and what he's going through. It's very good. I wish there was a bit more angst in this book, but it's a very quick, very lighthearted, fun read, and I need to read more by Carrie Aarons because I feel like all of her books are sort of like that. But it is a cute forced proximity book. If you're looking for something light and an easy summer read, this is a perfect book for that. But yeah, that is all the books that I have to recommend today that are forced proximity. Leave in the comments down below your favorite forced proximity romance. Subscribe if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.